Hey Jenny, this is your video letter. And what is a video letter? Video letter is a letter to you in a video form. So I will send you an email and it will have some links in it. But we had a massage on Monday, the 12th. And right now I'm sitting in my office waiting for it to warm up. That's why I have uh, everything on. And it's raining outside. So I hope your last day in Rennes is actually good for you because it sounds like you're going to do some walking. So, our goal with our treatment that we had on Monday was to get the body communicating a little bit better so you could feel better. And I think it would be easiest to start with some of the things that I wrote down on your, yeah, nice little piece of paper, which no one can read my notes but me. Uh, the subclavius, your right shoulder carries a bag. And that's not a bad thing, but it's the same thing again and again. So the body's way of meeting that challenge is to lay down different fabric so that you can do that without being exhausted. It's great design. It's wonderful. But as you can see, when I lift my right shoulder, everything changes right here. So the relationship to this side and this side alters a little bit. So not a bad thing. It's just, it's what the body needs to do. But ironically, because I've been studying the fascial system, um, we've been taught that the fascia is a body-wide network. So what happens here can also affect the left hip. I don't know if I can do this. Let's see. I need to move back a little bit. Yeah, I'm moving that table. Um, let's see. Hang on. Hold. I don't edit my videos, so yeah, bear with me. But if I am a bag that I'm carrying and I go up like this, can you see what happens to this side? Yeah, the right side too. But the left side has something else going on. So we have to meet these challenges. You're going to carry a bag because I know you have a lot of stuff. Um, so think about how you can help the body. So if you have a bag on the right shoulder, instead of having the strap here, distribute the weight. So if you have a strap that you're carrying on the right side and you distribute the weight to the left with a longer strap, that would be more ideal. Something to think about because this little muscle that we had underneath this clavicle bone, the subclavius muscle, oh, it was it was just not happy. And it doesn't necessarily talk to you, but it is attached to the only thing in our body that connects our shoulder to this part. So this clavicle is the in Swedish Knuckle, the key bone. So clavicle is also Latin for key bone, and it is key. So because we have so many nerves and fluid flow coming from the neck and going down to the hand, we can have really strange symptoms that are happening in the hand, but it might be more related to this. So it's a simple thing to just change. And over time, the body's like, oh, all right, I don't have to meet any more challenges here. Okay, so balls. We had two melt balls. We had the melt ball that was soft and small, and then we had the melt ball that was large. So let's do our hand treatment first. Okay, I got to put you on pause if I can find pause. I'll be right back. I'm back, and took no time, did it? I love it. That's why I do video letter. Again, no editing because I don't know how to do that. So we have the small melt ball, and this is Sue Hitzman's method. I just explain it a little bit different. So You want to hold it in between on the webbing, and then, yeah. And then always relax. So I'm going to show you this, and then always relax. Because you're left-handed, this might be a little bit easier for you to do with your left hand versus your right hand. And I'm doing it first in my right hand. That's habit. So simple and easy. And what you're looking for is this dip. Thank you, Sue Hitzman, for teaching this to me. This is nice. It's not always, not all of us have the dip. I don't know if you can train that little dip, but what we have is the knuckle on either side, this tiny little mountain, and that tiny little mountain needs the valley. So after you've done that, then you go to the next one. And the challenge with this is keeping that ball in between the fingers. And as you can tell, I'm not doing this fast. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm talking to you, but I'm really focused on what's going on, and then how does it feel? And so in the melt method, we're always asking people to assess. And what I mean by that is pay attention. Sitting in front of the TV and doing this, yeah, okay, but are you paying attention to what's going on here? So it's just a small little bit of paying attention, and consider this like Luke and Leia grooming themselves. Why not? They do it all the time, and we can be a lot more like cats. All right, so it's a little bit more challenging here. But you get the picture. Now I'm going to move to the left side, which might for you be a lot simpler. Now, when I do the other treatments, I'm not going to go through both sides of the body, but I think it's important here. Yeah. So when you change over, do you hear? Oh, I get some cracking. I'm not scared of that, but I know when I hear that there's some tension up here in the network, and that's affecting my strength, but it's also affecting the coordination that needs to happen so that I have proper grip strength and coordination of how this happens, and coordination of action. It's kind of a, yeah, switch. It's kind of a tough one. But what I mean by that is now that I've switched from here to here, it's actually a little bit more difficult for me to coordinate the action of keeping that ball in between the knuckles. And you can tell that I'm flexing or squeezing, and then I let it go. And I always want you to find neutral. So pay attention to neutral, because that's where, oh, I'll show you. Squeeze everything out, let it come in. Squeeze everything out, let it come in. And this is very hard for me on this side. And so I hold the ball, and that's not cheating. That's just an adaptation. Yeah. Okay, treatment done. And then you have the melt. Oh, there goes the ball. Then you have the melt large softball. So I'm squeezing, and yeah, this is a treatment, but I do this a lot because on my right side and my right neck and my right hand, I have issues. Being a massage therapist since 2002 has really challenged my body, and especially on my right side. And then the car accidents haven't helped. So as I go along with this, you can tell that I have a pretty good squeeze. Now, with my ring finger and my thumb doing the action, the squeeze is a little different. And boy, I feel it. So just pay attention to what you feel. There's no right or wrong. It's just paying attention. And pretty soon we're done with the whole treatment. So this one's a little tougher. So that little pinky doesn't have as much strength. But here's the thing. My mom was strong, and she was strong in her grip, but she could not coordinate action. So therefore, it was hard to hold a spoon. And then it was even harder for her to find from the spoon to find her mouth. And that's something that we lose over time, and it's a shame. So train your proprioceptors, train your motion sensors through repetitive, fun motion. So yes, this is training, but it's fun. And it's for the nervous system because fascia is part of the nervous system. About half a century ago, we were planted in our moms. And as we grew and developed, from the fluid came bone that was mineralized electrolytes. Yeah, calcium, magnesium, potassium, all that other good stuff. So it's actually doing pretty well. But now I'm going to go to the ring finger on the left hand, and I don't know if you can see this, but the squeeze isn't as much. So the strength is diminished, but also all that little nerve system on how to coordinate my action, it's not having the same conversation as this one. This one is having a really good conversation, no problem. But this one is a little challenging. Okay, yep, big challenge. Big challenge. It doesn't hurt. It's just, can I do it? And again, I'm paying attention. I feel it in the thumb, and I feel a little bit here. So I'm encouraging you when you do this, just how does it feel from left to right? Um, Ask yourself those questions throughout the treatment. And we're done with the treatment. So it's that simple. Okay. So IT band on your left side, you were concerned about. Um, Posterior tibialis with the fibula and tibula because 2 ACL repairs, replacements, and 1 ankle sprain with surgery on the left. Okay, so I got to stand up and show you something, and I don't think I showed you this when you were here. Yeah. I did real quick in between breakfast and trying to run out the door. You don't get to see my lovely face in this next one, but this is my Cecil. Oof, you can't see that. Yeah, Cecil. Cecil foam roller. Melt Method has a foam roller that you can use, and you can also have something like this, but really want it soft, okay? Think soft. I'm going to show you this one, and as I said, you don't get to see my face. All right. So you're standing up, and yeah, you can even talk on the phone with this, but stand in the mirror first so you can get the motion. My feet are not wide. My feet are directly underneath me. And so I feel the squeeze in between my thighs. And what I'm trying to do is to shift the weight from side to side and have the roller also move. I was only in level 1 melt certification, and I don't know if this was part of her continued program because she's got 5+ levels. So I don't know, but I've done this for myself because of issues that I have on my right side, and I like it. And let me just say, the adductor muscles that you have here, so the fascia that we have here on the inner side of the leg comes up and wraps around, and it's a stabilizer for the IT band. So if you're having issues here, treating here is actually good. So again, we're squeezing a little bit, and then we're just rocking side to side. Yeah. So it's not this. It's taking my time and feeling it in between my legs. And I have a client that can't do this. He cannot coordinate the action. He can go one way, but when he tries to go the other way, it's this or something. And he's working on it. Jennie. We talked about your tibia and your fibula, and we talked about thinking of the tibia and fibula, tibia and fibula being like the legs of a rider on a horse. So this is natural that one leg is a little bit lower than the tibia of the lower leg. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, yeah. So what so I have a client who is a very good horse rider. So when she's sitting on the saddle, the way that she shifts her body is talking to Elliot, her horse. And it's telling Elliot information of where she wants to go and how she wants to get there. But it's really subtle. So if you think of her legs on the saddle, she's squeezing, she's moving her right heel, and all that information is telling Elliot what to do. And here we go. Uh, we have the fibula and we have the tibia, and it's sitting over top of the talus. And that talus is deep in the foot, but it has to get information. I don't know, but I don't think the talus has a ligament attached to anything, if I remember right. So it's using all the fascia around it to coordinate action. And if something is wrong here, the calcaneus and the heel and how it hits the ground is different. And chances are we don't even know it. Our body just handles it because we tell the body it has to go forward and we want to get to the park. So, how do we work with that? Your melt ball on your foot, really awesome because of everything that it's talking to underneath the foot. I'm looking at my notes. Oh yeah, I showed you your post tibialis homework because you like to kneel on your haunches. So wait just a second. I got to get on the ground. Kneeling on the ground is you like to do this, and it should be a very easy thing for you to kneel down and get up without a problem. But what you've been experiencing is, I think it's on the left side, that you get that tightness here and you can't you can't squat all the way down. Um, okay, so you're feeling it here, but again, that roller in between this is very helpful. Um, but also, is it coming from here or is it coming from the lower attachment? Now, I don't know for sure, but if you work with Christine from PNMT or Dr. Conley, who's not too far away from you, you're going to figure out a lot of things about your foot and how it affects the rest of the body. And I'm so happy that you have really awesome people close by. Okay, so Christine is a physical therapist by trade. She was my she was my PNMT instructor. She's really close to you, but there's some other ones, other PNMT instructors that are close to you, and I send you that list in the email. So here's the knee. Just a few fingers down, we have part of the tibia that we can feel. Now, if you go underneath that tibia, we have something called the posterior tibialis. Now it dives in deep underneath the tibia, but what I want you to do is you're going to sit in a man style sitting position. I don't edit, but damn it, I'm in the wrong position. Okay, hang on. All over the place. Okay, right here. Now, what I want you to do with the foot, without even putting pressure right here, this is the action because it's shortening up that muscle. Your right foot and your left foot might have a different conversation because your left foot has had surgery. Yeah, it's okay. This might be even tough for your hips to do because I can even feel the challenge here for me. So your thumbs tuck under because your thumbs are strong, but they tuck under. They're just holding. And then I come up and I go down. Now I feel just a little bit of a muscle contraction. And it has a sensation, but it doesn't really hurt. It's actually like, oh God, that feels good. So we're really looking for that exquisite kind of yum pain. Yummy, 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 yummy. But for you, I think your left side was exquisitely painful and not really yummy. And that's telling us that there's something going on there. That's a challenge for the body. Switch sides. Yeah. Yeah, you can tell my right hip has problems doing that. So again, my right side has issues. So I tuck underneath and I come up. And again, this does not take very long. What I've shown you is as actually your treatment. So you don't have to go to you don't have to do these for 10 minutes. There's a nice little window of diminishing returns, and if you do too much, you do too much. So moderation is key. Ah, okay, we're done. Um, hmm. So the melt ball on the foot. I'm gonna do one foot, and then you can go ahead and do the left foot, or the other foot. So this video is taking a long time, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the treatment and talk to you at the same time. You won't see my face, you'll just see my feet, but that's okay. So the ball is here. Now in the melt method, Sue Hitzman always encourages people to ask what's going on. So it's just part of the treatment, and she's brilliant when she's come up with this because we really want to pay attention to how things feel. I mean, it's the only way our body's talking to us. So we want to train listening. So when we have both feet on the ground, ask yourself how they're situated. Is all the weight on the ground, or are you a little bit more on your toes, or a little bit more on your heels, or are you a little bit more to the side? Just ask. All right, so let's do the treatment. So here's the melt ball, and we put it in the middle part, the arch. Now, as Sue teaches this, we don't have anything on the arch. So this could be painful. I'm starting on my right side, so I can be a little bit of a mirror, and you can do this along with me on the left. And I call this the penguin because we're just shifting our weight from one side to the other and one side to the other. Now, if you had nothing else, if you had no more time during the day, this is great. Just try it. We're going to continue the treatment on this one side. So then we can ask some questions, okay? All right. So now you're going to step back with the other foot. You're going to move the ball to just before the heel. And then the back heel comes up and the back heel goes down. And you can see this front heel is always connected to the ground. It's the back heel that's doing the work. It's propelling us forward. And this is our gait cycle. This is how we walk on a regular basis. All right, so we're done there. Now we're going to move the ball to the ball. We're going to move the ball to the ball of the foot on this first knuckle. So it's not under the toe, it's actually under the knuckle. Remember our ball we had on the knuckles? We want to have that valley. So again, same treatment. Heel comes up in the back. And this heel is always on the ground. Now, there's plenty of other people that do foot treatments. There's a lady in New York, Emily Spitzel, I think her name is. Yeah, she's brilliant. She's a podiatrist, and the way she talks, medical people are just like, man, that's beautiful. But everyday people, it's hard to follow what she says. She uses a lot of medical terminology, and she's brilliant. So she has a foot treatment as well. So there's not just the melt method. There's lots of other treatments. Again, I just switched. I went from this knuckle to now the second knuckle underneath the second toe. Again, not under the toes, under the ball of the foot. So look at Leia and look at Luke, your kitties, and see their kitty pad on their foot. Now that kitty pad is full of fat. Fat is a wonderful thing. It's not a demon that we give it. We're going to move to the middle part of the foot right here. This is behind us. And then we do the same thing. So that fat pad has receptors like piscinium corpuscles. And every time they step, it gives them information of how the texture of the ground feels. That's why putting a sock or a boot on a cat is crazy, because then they can't feel. Now we've just moved. And again, it's the nervous system. And the nervous system is giving our body information of how our muscles need to coordinate action. So a lot of times we're talking about strength. Yeah, strength, no problem, I get it. But we also want stability and flexibility at the same time. Something that is too hard and not flexible will break. So in Iowa, when we had storms, trees and light poles, trees bend, light poles break. And we want the flexibility. So I went to the fourth knuckle, and now I'm on the fifth knuckle, and my ball peeks out just a little bit, so I know I'm on the correct area. And that knuckle, here's my little toe. That knuckle is down here. All right, so now both feet together and friction. This friction is a vibration. Vibration is something that the receptors have to sense. Now you're going to feel warmth. You're standing with all your weight on this foot. You're going to feel warmth. That's great. And you're going to notice one leg can do this well because you want to dangle like a spaghetti noodle from your knee down. And it's always underneath you. Don't let it come all the way out here. It's always underneath you. Okay. Oof, that felt good. All right. So let the ball do whatever it needs to do. And again, like Sue Hitzman says in the melt method, assess. Just pay attention. Now you have the weight of both feet on the ground. Is that the same that it was when we first started? And then how does this treatment foot feel from this foot? Just ask yourself, are they different? Are they the same? And with you, you have incredible flexibility in your hamstrings. But most people have a hard time doing this. So if you compare sides, generally, what I find in my rubber band class that we have on Wednesdays is when people do this treatment, the treatment side, they usually have longer fingers. And right now, I exaggerated that, but right now, they feel kind of the same. What I feel is a little bit easier and not as much tension. What do you want for the nervous system? Just enough tension So information travels, but not so much tension that it's too challenging. I think we're done. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy France and come back again next year to paint the boat. Um, and watch Eurovision, because did you see the Netherlands guy? That was awesome. And then I stayed up long enough to see Germany and Italy and Poland, and they were sweet. So much talent here in Europe. Oh, it's a good thing that you might move here. Well, just to Europe. Okay. Um, Done. Okay. Bye.